there, my name is Chris Farah and welcome back to my YouTube channel where today I will be reviewing 90 Day Fiance Season 7 Episode 1. The first episode of the brand new season. It feels like we just got done watching 2 seasons of 90 Day Fiance. So crazy how quickly time flies when TLC has a juggernaut that's so huge they can't stop the money train. Because no one wants to get off, especially not Matt Sharp. Honey, he just bought a house. I mean, I don't know, this is not true, but like Dubai, probably. He bought Dubai. That's how rich he is from all these shows. Me, not so much rich from these shows. I wish. Yeah. This seems really exciting. So we had, of course, the first episode where we got to meet a lot of the couples. We didn't meet 2 of the couples. One we don't need to. It's Angela and Michael. The other ones we do need to meet, but you know, in due time. Let's start with Anna and Marcel. Marcel. It's something like that. I have auditory problems, and so it takes me like 2 or 3 ups to hear someone's name and to be able to say it because I get anxiety saying people's names. Here's the thing about Anna, she loves bees. Big fan of bees. You know, they're cute and it's cool that they live together, which also is the way I could describe her and 3 boys. They're all cute. They live together. 3 colorful boys, different personalities. There's an older one who's kind of going through it, 15. Everyone's dumb. Everything's stupid. He doesn't want to do anything except sit there and sulk and play video games and has like a monotone voice and some sort of like emo hair that's like in his face. He's kind of like scowling all the time. Then there's a middle kid. The middle kid is sensitive, you know, is worried about things, a little bit of a worrier. And then that baby crazy. And also her favorite. She says it. Isn't afraid to say it on national television. All of them watch TV. They all can see her say that. And their parents and their friends now know that she doesn't really like the first 2, especially not that oldest one. So Anna is like, again, very into bees. And you know, it's hard to find a romantic partner who's not only not scared of bees, but into bees. I'm petrified of bees. Like a bee comes around me, I'm like, whoop, you know, like, but having said that, bees are very important. I know that. Facebook has showed me through multiple posts the importance of bees, how they are critical to the circle of life and how they're endangered. So love bees and the work they do. Really love honey peanut butter. Really like honey Dijon. Anyway, Anna loves bees. She also loves Marcel, who she met through a Facebook bee group. He lives in Turkey. So one thing we find out is that he is not a drinker, which, look, we're sort of experts at this Islam thing now from 90 Day Fiance watching. Just kidding, we're not. But at the same time, we have some familiarity with how people like to live their lives in different parts of the world now. We've 7 seasons, honey. And so it's interesting which people of which faith adhere to which rules. And that could be for Christianity too. For instance, premarital sex, right? Catholics are like not into premarital sex. We're not supposed to be doing it. I know this, was raised Catholic. The dogma of Catholicism is a pro-life dogma because from their viewpoint, nothing is ever to impede life. Life is the most important thing. If having children and carrying on Christianity is the most important thing, then anything against that's gonna be wrong. Now, I'm not saying this is true. I'm just telling you from my expert Catholicism background, Catholics don't believe in masturbation, premarital sex, condoms, much less Plan B, much less premarital sex, much less homosexual sex. The reason being for all of those is the act of sex then cannot create a baby. And if the act of sex cannot create a baby in the terms of that Catholicism wants it to, that is deemed wrong. That's why the Catholic Church is against all of those things. Having said that, I know a lot of Catholics that have sex. Lots. So anyway, having said all of that, it's interesting for Marcel, who doesn't want to drink, doesn't want her to drink. And we've now seen other people who are like, oh, and we can't kiss before we're married, we can't touch, we definitely can't be in the same bedroom, we can't, you know, whatever. But Marcel's not going to have her drink, but it's okay to stay with her in a hotel room. In fact, have her climb on top of him at the end of the day. Just like Zayed was. Zayed's like, oh, you can't wear this in public, but I have no problem with the whole world knowing that we're having sex and we're not married. It's interesting. Men are interesting creatures. And religion, you know, sometimes is a way to keep men in line, but humanity, like nature, sometimes can't be contained that way. And I'm really referencing a lot of things here. Jurassic Park, Vatican City, Mother Teresa. Anna loves like chunky necklaces. We see in a lot of the pictures. Marcel's a big fan of kissing Anna. Just keeps saying he wants to kiss you, Anna. I want to kiss you, Anna. And that's cute. But the way that he's talking, even though we can tell that it's not a person that knows English very well, there's also just something that makes you feel like, oh, is all his facilities there? Oh, are we seeing a fully functional, put together person? Everything on track? She's very worried about her sons and Marcel not getting along, which I get. And the kids bring it up too. They're like, what happens if he doesn't like us? And instead of being like, oh, then I'll just make him go home because you're the most important thing, she's like, oh, why won't that happen? Anna is so passive, naive, but she's raising these 3 kids, you know, and God bless that she's doing it without the help of their dad. He's an asshole. But here steps in her friend Jamie, and I like Jamie. Jamie and her have known each other since they've been in the 6th grade. I feel like with Jamie, this is the whole story. It feels like a movie where Jamie and Anna went to school together, then Jamie like went to New York, honey, and she became like an Elle beauty editor or something and had like a fabulous life. But shit went down, and her best friend calls her and is like, look, the father of my 3 boys / my husband's an asshole, like abusive, very controlling, and he's leaving me. Can you please come help me? And so she does, right? It's like a female friend flick. So she comes back to the hometown, small town that she's from to help her friend raise 3 colorful but troubled boys in the wake of this mess. And so we see like the odd couple, right? Like mama 3 boys, small town, like kind of submissive, like passive, like Jamie, who's like a working woman, like a little more put together, obviously hair and makeup, everything on point, who's a little like, God, I can't deal with some of the choices that you make, and why are you like this? And can you just make smarter choices? And then have Anna be like, well, it's really easy for you, right? You know, I could write it right now. That's a great movie. Anna also says, you know, it's very hard to date. I really want men that aren't afraid of my bees. And Jamie's like, even if they do like your honey. Okay, I'm here all night. My name's Jamie. Cab. Finally, she's on the way to the airport to pick up her love, Marcel. Now, here's where it gets what? And it's this. She gets there, okay, looks cute, okay. She's wearing flip-flops to the airport, or sandals, open-toed sandals, which is a big hell no, but we don't all know that, and I understand that. But tell your friends. I want to see toes only by the sea or by the pool. So she's waiting for Marcel, and he comes around the bend, and he runs up, and they hug, and they kiss, and okay. And they can't really communicate, and he wants to kiss her, and he does. And then some time goes by, and she's like, Marcel, where's your bags? And he's like, oh, I forgot them. And then has to go run around the bend to get them. Now, I don't know if he's just like left them with a PA he thought from the show, like they got my back, or if he just was checking his phone, left his bag, was like, I wonder what's happening around this bin, and then saw Anna and then ran up to her. Like, what I'm trying to say is he all there? Is he like, I don't know. Did you guys think that maybe like, I don't know. And we know what's going to happen with them because we see the preview, which is he somehow has to keep a secret from his parents at 37, okay? Just like we've seen with Sumit and Zayed and all these secrets from parents. And the secret is that she has kids. Not a good sign. Not a good sign. Okay, next up is Michael and Juliana, but we really don't know Juliana yet. So let's start with Michael. The music changes from Anna to Michael with this like ho 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 song, and I was like, it's weirdly like ho ho. I don't even know. I can't like go back and listen to it. It's like a little Snow White mixed with Christmas, but also just indicative of the fact that they're going to really sell an understory of the fact that Juliana is a prostitute. But let's dive in. Michael is a white dude in his mid-40s, rich, somehow, entrepreneur, wine things that made him rich. I feel like that kind of thing is like he made money with like one venture capitalist deal or his daddy or something, and then like got into something and wants to be like, how do you make billions of money on wine? I mean, I don't know. Maybe you tell me. Listen, he's very rich, supposedly, and he attends yacht parties. I just talked about yacht parties in the tell-all. Yacht parties and models are kind of like blondes in Dubai. Anytime you hear hot girls at yacht parties, just like you hear anytime blondes in Dubai. I'm just saying, work's happening. Work is happening. And work is just a transaction of service and goods and currency. That's all that work is. What I'm trying to say is I don't judge. Michael met Juliana on a yacht party in Croatia. She's very young, very poor, got a break doing modeling and is doing that in Brazil. He tried to get her a visitor visa to come out and visit him in America. Now, here's where I know nothing, but it was denied. And they say it was denied because America thought that she would come here for nefarious purposes. We've seen lots of girls come from Colombia and Brazil. So to be denied must be like, was there a previous incident? Is there a background that pointed to something nefarious? She's a working, gorgeous model. You can't say that she like has to come out here for a job or to meet an agent. You can't get like one agency meeting in New York and just be like, I gotta come out there to meet an agent. I don't know. It is shady. In the way that he, in that soundbite, says that she is not a prostitute. Again, makes me feel like she's everything, including being a prostitute, which is fine. As I've said, Michael got divorced 2 years ago from Sarah, and they have 2 kids. Now, Sarah and him got together when they were really young, like real young, and were together for a long time, had kids young, and those kids are cute. It's Max and Cece, a boy and a girl. Boy's older, but they're best friends. They're very fun. Sarah is the mother of those kids and has expressed viewpoints on her feelings towards Juliana, which is that Juliana's young. And so young, in fact, closer to age than her kids than to Michael. I know that the mother has said that because verbatim, that's what Max said. And that's not really something a 12-year-old just like thinks of. That's something he hears and then agrees with. I don't know what's up with Michael, but it's like midlife crisis, right? I want to know what happened with him and Sarah. Like, I want to know Sarah's viewpoint. Did he cheat on her? Did he want to like, again, just party and like travel? And she's like, we have kids, asshole. They need structure and ritual and like life. Discipline. I have a feeling underneath it that he is still in love with her and will always be. And this is like a cheap, dumb thing men do because they can't ever understand their feelings. It's hard for them to bring awareness to how they feel and who they are. And so they run from that by trying to find identity in cars, women, social status, clothes, their job, blah, 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 like whatever that is, right? And so it's just so textbook that it just makes him look dumb. Makes him look so basic. But, you know, having said that, it's much easier to look at someone's life from the outside in. Also, Michael just bought a house like right down the street from his ex-wife. And I know it's probably easy for the kids that way, but he could also be 20 minutes away. It's not the worst. Or 15. Sarah's talking to Michael and she's like, Juliana's not going to be a mom. We've talked about that. I'm the mom. And then Michael tries to be like, Juliana has told me that she is so excited to be a part of Max and Cece's life. And I mean, I was just like, oh, sure. Yeah, this hot-ass 23-year-old Brazilian model can't wait. Cannot wait to start her life in America to become friends with Max and Cece, your 12 and 10 or 8-year-old or whatever the hell. Delusion. Look, it's hard. I get that. I love this concept that these men are going to get like the hottest girl possible from some country to bring over to be a stepmom for their kids. They prefer you not to have kids. They would prefer it. That's what it is. All these stupid men that pick women based upon looks and then worry about them being gold diggers, but want them to come home and be stepmoms to their kids. They don't want to be. They don't want you to have kids. You want them to be hot. They want your money. What is it? You want something. They want something. How come we don't call guys looks diggers?
Ugh, yeah. He's so gross. He's a body digger. All he wants to do is like fuck you and leave. He's a body digger. Ugh.
We don't say that though. Why not? Okay, up next is Tanya from Connecticut and Sinjin. Tanya and Sinjin. Okay, Tanya is fiery. She's a bartender. She's a free spirit, honey. Also, social activist. Let's talk about it. So Tanya met some dude on a dating app. He called her and was like, so guess what? I'm also like flying to South America tomorrow. And somehow talked to her and bought her a ticket to come. So she does. And staying with him, doesn't know him, and realizes he's dumb. So then she leaves him in the middle of the night, goes to a bar, meets some friends, some girls, and then just meets a bartender and goes home with him. 2 bartenders finding each other in the night in South Africa. She goes home with him. They fall in love. This person is Sinjin. Sinjin is a white person from South Africa, part of like African people. Not super familiar with the full political landscape, but very intense and racist history between the colonizer whites that came to South Africa and the indigenous Africans that were there. This is where, haven't been there, can't speak fully professionally about this, but this informs their relationship because he's white and she's a person of color. Tanya's in the kitchen of her mom's home making arepas when her mom comes in. Tanya can't live by herself anymore because if Sinjin comes here, she can't afford that ish. So she has now moved back into her mom's house and her mom has been living comfortably. Doesn't necessarily want another kid, nor two, back in her place. Granted, they're outside in the she shed, but still, it's annoying to her. Rojana, Missy, she's pretty rough looking. She's gone through some patches and through some spells, and she lets loose in her own way now, and this is how she lets loose. She gets up, crack of dawn, pours a drink, gets naked, goes in her hot tub. 7 a.m. Some people celery juice first thing in the morning, her vodka, negi, hot tub time. And so she tells her daughter, you can't come outside. They're we'll be sleeping. So then Tanya has a lunch with her sister who's newly married. Now the sister and Tanya are from Connecticut and they have very similar names. Tanya's one name and the other sister's name is not Tania, but Tanyaya. I mean, something where it was what? Ugh, in a sense where it's you're giving me very Stacy Darcy vibes. Two somewhat twin, but not looking physically twin sisters, but named twin sisters who live in Connecticut who are just tearing each other down. The sister's you're gonna lose him. And I was oh my God, deja vu. The sister's you're gonna make him leave you. And it's because the sister thinks that she's a bitch. Either she's type A or that she's stern. Maybe he is all over the place, and doesn't really have motivation or ambition. She's ballsy. She has no problem making political demonstrations on national television for her causes. The sister just calls her a professional bitch and she's no, you're a bitch. And then it becomes who's more of a bitch? And I think they both are. You both win. So she leaves her sister in the dust, I get it, and gets her two friends, Monique and Marion, and they drive from Connecticut to New York. They spend the night, and then the next morning they're going to go to the airport to pick up Sinjin. Sinjin? Is it JFK? Is it LaGuardia? I'm not quite sure. But they're running late. Yeah, of course, it's New York. I feel bad for her because she's running late immediately. Are you ready? And she's no, I'm not ready, not even close. And she has having anxiety, so it's making her being late and her getting ready even harder. And that's where I feel bad for her because I get that all the time. Then there's Emily. Emily is 29. She was from Oregon originally, and now she's been living in Russia because she loves Russian literature. Also, eyeliner. She's been teaching English in Russia, but what she hasn't been doing is learning any Russian. How do you teach a language to people and then not ever learn kind of that language? Unless you're teaching such upper division English the minute they walk in, you're hello students, no Russian will be spoken in this class ever, not ever. Welcome to AP Honors English 5. So she have to be spasiba. I don't know. She has a slutty past. I love this. Just crazy and a raver. That made me happy. She got lonely though in Russia because there were no more raves. So she decides to join a gym, second best thing, and meets a hot trainer dude, and that's Sasha. Start to teach Sasha the English tongue, and he teaches her his Russian tongue. So good. He's been really fluent with that Russian tongue though. He's been touring with it all over the land of Russia. In fact, has been married previously twice before, even though he's very young, and already has 2 kids. But that's no phasing Emily because their relationship is quote unquote perfect. All right, good. I'm glad you said that. Your relationship is perfect, honey, cute. Who are you? Oh, that's so cute to say. She FaceTimes her sister Betsy, and she's very pregnant at this point, 4 days from giving birth, supposedly. And she's in a coffee house. Behind her is the most beautiful fur coat. I don't know if it's real. I'm just saying it looked pretty. I don't know if it's real. Maybe not. I'm hoping not. Probably. During this conversation with Betsy, Betsy is don't you want to have the kid in America? Too late to bring this one up. You think she's going to get on a plane now, change her whole birth plan, find a doctor and find a hospital in 4 days? That's what you think, Betsy? You know what, if you really wanted her to do that, you would have been doing that already for her. But okay, I get it. This FaceTime that Betsy had to do for the producers. And then on top of that fake bullshit, she suddenly gets dizziness and nausea and has to hang up with her sister and sort of get up and walk around as you know, pregnant women love to do when they're dizzy and nauseous. And then she calls Sasha. He comes to her. Oh wait, takes her to the hospital? Takes her home? No, just sits at a table, talks to her about her being nauseous. And then later there's a shot of her crying in his arms outside of the restaurant / coffee place they're in. So dumb. I don't know how I feel about them. Okay, last but not least, Robert from New York City, but now residing in Florida. Robert is a single dad. He is raising his son. His son is super cute. I think the son's name is Grayson, but it could be Brayson. Robert is striving for the ride shares, the Ubers, the Lyfts, and he likes doing so because A, he meets Shaq, and also B, because it affords him flexibility in order to raise the son. Love this story. Feel bad how it started, which is that his wife or the baby's mama, like I'm not quite sure their level there, but just got up and left. No warning, just wasn't for her this life. And so he just had to deal and pick up. But he's happy that happened because he met his new love, Annie. Annie is 30 from the DR. They met through a mutual friend on Facebook. Okay. And then after like talking for a whole bunch, he books a cruise that stops in the DR, and then he gets off that boat, and then he gets 8 hours with her. And that was like the best 8 hours ever. He proposes to her and she says, see, we see pictures of Annie now. She's very sexy. She wants to be a very sexy girl, and she portrays that through the clothes that she wears and the way that she holds herself and takes pictures. I think she's attractive, but for me, I think that her face is a little hard looking. The whole thing is that Robert wants, again, a stepmom for Grayson, and he also wants a woman who's not looking to him to give her money. Those are two very admirable, totally doable wants. However, he chose Annie, who obviously isn't those two things. So here's the catch-22. You can want whatever you want, and you can choose whatever you want. But if you want what you want and you choose someone that's not what you want, I don't know what to do. I can't help you. You gotta help yourself. Don't waste my time. Don't call her a gold digger. You're a looks digger. We've already talked about that. This is not a fun recap. This is not a funny one. Just me like kind of ranting about people. But it's just really like, it's hard, but I'm so excited because I love stupid people. Because I don't feel bad judging them. And I can talk about them. Especially when they're dudes. These American dudes are the dumbest ones. I think some of the girls are dumb too. Annie's dumb. Annie and Marcel for bringing Marcel over when she should realize from their interactions that he's slow and she already has to raise 3 kids, so she can't raise another one. Everyone's dumb. And love makes everyone blind. And I'll be single for the rest of my life. That's fine. Just too smart, too much happening up here. And not enough happening in here. Can you believe it? I did it. I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging around. We're gonna get more of the couples we talked about next episode, as well as learn about the brand new couple we don't know about, who I don't remember their names, and then more Angela and Michael. God, it just seems like we just saw Angela and Michael. Yet more Angela and Michael. My God, so much Angela and Michael. Also, why was Michael crying so crazily in the preview? What did Angela say, that like Trump could be impeached? Love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, go on Facebook and search Vanity Farah. That's my secret Facebook group where we talk about all things my YouTube topics like 90 Day Fiance. And you can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Chris L. Farah. The L is for lonely. Lonely like Emily was, and that's why she joined the gym. Lonely like all these people are, and that's why they searched outside of America for romantic partners. Lonely how some people get during the holidays. So I am going to remind you all that make sure that you're super warm and kind this season. And sometimes seeing all people getting along and families coming together and holidays and the Christmas and Thanksgiving and the Hanukkah can be hard for some people who aren't really close to their families, or maybe they don't have a lot of family members left or whatnot. So keep an eye out for us. Anyway, thank you all so much. Take care of yourselves and one another. Stand up for what you believe and make art. Bye.